Okay, so on this particular day, we got in just for a quad day. Didn't do much filming outside of training. So, yeah, if you want a little bit more of a breakdown, you can go watch the last two quad videos that I posted, the one with Chinatown and the calories where we had the burgers. So, literally, I think the first two videos that I've posted in 5 years are the ones you should go watch for that. So, yeah, like always, we started on the adductor machine today. I think we did the same amount of weight as last week, and what we did was just try to extend the reps up a little bit higher. So I think I ended up getting maybe 13, 14, 15 reps, which is a little bit more than last week. I know for sure we beat it by at least one rep. It might have been just one rep. But yeah, just trying to make sure execution is correct all the way through, getting a good stretch, making sure that I'm staying in the seat with each and every rep that I do, getting a good squeeze, and then going to failure as always is the most pertinent thing here for me. So you can tell towards the end of the set, just trying to keep the intensity up and get a few extra reps. You can tell on my face that burned pretty good. I remember that like it was yesterday. But yeah, second set, just a back off set, dropping the weight down just a little bit, trying to match the reps. You can see struggle as always to get into this particular machine. It's kind of funny now, but a little annoying in the moment, but yeah, so just trying to match last week's reps. I think with this as well, we beat it by one rep. Again, keeping the same execution, making sure we get a good stretch with every rep, squeezing extra tight, and then here on the back end in just a second, you'll see that we try to fight for as many reps as we can to make sure that we progress from week to week. Obviously, the progression doesn't mean much if you aren't able to keep the same intention, intensity, and form. So those are the three most important things before you really try to force out any extra reps, being competitive. Yeah, so like I mentioned, just fighting extra hard for these last few reps on the back end without swinging or throwing the weight. Getting what we can. Like I said, we beat the rep range last week by one. And then after we got done there, we did our warm-up sets for the Cybex Smith machine. So I think I started at a plate, plate and a quarter, two plates and a quarter, three plates and a quarter, which was our working weight last week, which we ended up surpassing 12. So today it was 405 pounds, trying to hit the bottom end of that rep range, which was 8 reps. And I think today, keeping it as controlled as possible. Obviously, it's a new weight, so there's going to be some acclimating to it from session to session and improving and making it more efficient. But today was actually a pretty good example of what a good first day with a new weight should look like. So, like I said, I think we did 9 reps here. The last one was a struggle, but we definitely are improving from week to week, and that's all we want to see. Okay, so in typical fashion, the second set on the Cybex Smith machine squat is a back off set. So really all I did here was drop 20 pounds off per side, have 3 1/4 on the bar, which was my second set, my back off set last week as well. I believe last week I got 8 or 9 reps, and so the goal here was to hopefully be on the top end of that rep range, which was 11 or 12. I believe I did hit 12 this session, and so what we'll do next week is kind of revisit how we feel and see if we want to add a little bit of weight and kind of restart at the bottom end of that rep range. So might add 10 pounds per side and try to get 8 or 9 reps and go from there. And then, of course, on the first set, the top set, we'll keep trying to improve those numbers week to week. So instead of 9, we'll shoot for 10, 11, 12 until we can repeat. So we're just rinsing and repeating the same process of adding weight, hitting the top end of the rep range, adding weight, hitting the top end of the rep range, and so on and so forth until we do not see any more improvement in that regard. Okay, so in my most recent shoulder video that I posted, I made a comment of winning some and losing some. And I think in my mind, after I did the Smith machine squats, having improved on both sets, I kind of had a feeling I probably should have stuck with 4 plates on the hack squat and run that another week. But of course, toxicity took over, and I decided to add that quarter per side. Now, as I'm getting into these and I watch these back, my reps look pretty dang good. I think there's good control, especially for the first day with the new weight. I think the problem came in when I stopped doing the constant tension, constant motion reps here, and tried to restart. It was a little bit difficult. It felt really awkward on my knees, and I didn't want to push it. So I think I gave it a shot. Felt a little twinge and decided, okay, I wouldn't really go for it. So what I did was I dropped a 5 kg off of each side. I thought that might be enough to allow me to finish off the set, maybe do two or three more reps. But the same thing happened here whenever I decided to unrack the weight and started to descend. Kind of that same little feeling happened again, and so I came back up with the weight, racked it, and then decided I would try to touch just three 25 kg plates. So a little bit heavier than what would have been last week's back off set to try to finish off this first top set. And even with these, I was a little gun shy. I couldn't finish the set. It felt extremely uncomfortable. So I decided to rack it and just, work and see another day. So after that last experience on the top set, I decided to just keep the three 25 kg plates per side. And even on the first couple of reps, it was a little uncomfortable. Not really sure what happened. Maybe I just got in my head. It it was just very weird, very different for me for that to have experienced that. So what I tried to do here was just 2 volume sets of 10 reps, and I tried to make them pretty difficult. So the first set I didn't make as difficult as the second set just because I wanted to have a little bit to give on that second set. So 10 constant tension reps, being as smooth as possible, being as intentional as possible with my squeeze upward, and not necessarily worrying about the weight, but just focusing on trying to get more volume out of this particular exercise. And lastly, here's the what would be the third set of hack squats. So normally I do 2 sets, top set and a back off. Today we did an attempt at a top set and then a back off and then kept the same weight. And really what I did here was just try to make it as tough as possible for 10 reps. So using that same weight to make it a lot more difficult by slowing down the reps, taking a little bit more time in the hole, taking a little bit more time coming up, and really being intentional about what I'm using to push up. And so that made it extremely difficult and made for a tough third set. Yeah, so every quad day I normally do 2 sets of leg extensions, 12 to 15 reps, try to get a good squeeze each time, good stretch. And then I make the second set a drop set. So this happens to be the second set that I recorded. I didn't record the first set, excuse me. This is the second set that I did record. And I think, again, it was just 12 reps and then a drop set, cutting the weight in half, trying to match reps on the second round. Okay, so last but not least, we have the Cybex 45-degree leg press. Here, I was just trying to keep feet low on the platform, get as much depth as possible, and keep constant motion and tension on or with the reps and on the quads. So it was just 20 piston reps, good control coming down, and then pump back up without a full lockout to repeat it again. So basically, just 20 reps, keeping the weight moving without bouncing in and out of the hole. And the last set of the workout, basically rinse and repeat, just trying to go 20 piston reps. I think we ended up doing 15 here. It took a couple of pauses in between, but that's how it should be. You should be pretty taxed at the end of the workout whenever you train with this intensity. So yeah, it was a good training session overall. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and then of course we'll be putting out more content like this, more content of our adventures as we travel the world.
Oh, come on. 5 more. Match last week. Let's go. 1 more.